Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Tuesday, October 22nd, 2013. If you're listening to this on the radio and wish to watch it, go to www.catex.com. There's a cold snap that's going to begin in the northeastern United States later tonight. That means that the opening game of the World Series in Boston between the Red Sox and the St. Louis Cardinals will be a frigid affair. There's no frigid affair going on in Sydney, Australia right now. The city is inundated by a massive pall of smoke that's coming from the three huge wildfires that are expected to merge later today to form a so-called mega fire. There are approximately 1,200 firefighters from all across Australia and as far away as New Zealand that are helping to combat the fire. Sydney has a population in the metro area of about 4.6 million people. And right now, the mega fire would be out of control, so the authorities are watching this very, very carefully. It could present a huge issue. Meanwhile, the reinsurance conference in Baden, Germany is entering its final day today. It's been accompanied by the classical standoff between brokers and carriers as the two sides are staking out their pricing positions for the January 1st renewals. Willis yesterday said, the broker, that property cat rates in Europe are expected to fall by as much as 10% due to stiff competition. Meanwhile, Munich Re, which provides property cat cover in Europe, said that they should go up by possibly 10%. And yesterday we reported that Hanover Re is increasing some European cat risks by as much as 50%. Major buyers in Baden are trying to get discounts and lower prices. Meanwhile, Bill Berkley at W.R. Berkley Company said that policy renewal prices across its portfolios are increasing in the third quarter as competitors are forced to retrench after extending themselves. Berkley said that rate increases of 6.5% to 7.3% across the board in his company are being seen. Berkley said that some standard markets lacked the appropriate knowledge to understand the risks they were assuming in the specialty arena during the softer part of the market. Meanwhile, Tom Bolt, the Lloyd's performance director in Baden, told underwriters to invoke the spirit of Cuthbert Heath and find out what covers clients actually want as they seek to make their way through the current pricing malaise. Cuthbert Heath, of course, is a legendary underwriter at Lloyd's. He operated in the 1870s and 1880s. He's credited with developing many innovations at Lloyd's, including the layering concept, as well as being the first to provide new and complex risks that could be insured. Prior to Heath, Lloyd's was primarily a maritime shipping entity that provided reinsurance for total loss and hull cover. Heath is, of course, also known for his famous quote following the 1906 San Francisco earthquake, in which Lloyd's had a leading underwriting role for the damages in San Francisco. He said in a telegram, "Pay all claims without delay." It solidified Lloyd's reputation in the United States. We spoke several months ago about the Aon Berkshire Hathaway facility, and it looks now as if later this month Willis is going to answer that with their own sidecar. It's going to be called Willis 360. Here are the participants in it: the People's Insurance Company of China and Berkshire Hathaway, of all people, and Hiscox. It looks like Berkshire is likely to write across the whole piece, just like they did with the Aon facility, while the People's Insurance Company of China and Hiscox are going to write particular portfolios of business. Meanwhile, in Brazil, protesters are violently protesting in front of the Brazilian-run oil company Petrobras. Petrobras was part of a consortium with Shell, Total, and two Chinese oil companies that successfully won the bid to develop the 12.5 billion barrel Libya offshore oil field yesterday. About 1,000 police have been called in. They're shooting tear gas and rubber bullets right now at protesters. The five firms won 35-year concessions. Petrobras has a 40% stake. The workers are protesting that they believe the proceeds from the development of the oil field should go to pay for social programs. Meanwhile, here's an interesting story. Las Vegas is in the middle of the desert, but about 90 miles away from it is Lake Mead, an artificial lake created by Hoover Dam, which actually has been evaporating of late because of the trickling of the Colorado River. But in that lake is a 65-foot vessel owned by the entertainer Wayne Newton. Well, the vessel sank stern first in 45 feet of water. You can see it on the internet. It's jutting out of the water right now. The ship is called the Rendezvous. Apparently sank on Friday. It's been confirmed that it in fact was Wayne Newton's yacht. No word on who insures it. And if you want an indication as to what's going on in Europe with the economy, Spain in particular, here's interesting news. Microsoft's Bill Gates bought a 6% stake in a Spanish construction company called Fomento de Construcciones de Contratas. Gates is the world's richest man. He paid $155 million for the holding in the Barcelona-based company. It now seems as if the Spanish equity market, the main IBEX 35 share index, has risen 23% this year. Its borrowing costs vis-a-vis Germany's have dropped by more than 50%. Spain is on the road to recovery apparently, and I guess Bill Gates believes that. I suspect that the news is going to result in more investments in Spain, possibly as early as today. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.